Hey everybody, it's Taco here. Welcome back to another Tutorial Tuesday, which is, I think, a thing that I'm going to do. Right now, I am currently playing Biker Garage, a mechanic simulator, which is new. They've released a few updates. It was a little buggy when they first released it. This is actually a game that I was in the beta for when they were running it, and it has vastly improved since those days, but there are a couple of things that are difficult to do that are not quite necessarily intuitive, and the main one is how to change out the brake fluid on a bike. So it does have a little bit of a print tutorial, but it doesn't actually show you exactly what to do, and if you're not used to that sort of thing in either real life or in game, that can be a little bit confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to change the brake fluid on a bike in the game. So first thing you're going to do, I'm actually going to put these back so you see where they are in case you haven't found them before. So the first thing you have to do when you're going to the bike is you're going to notice over here the technical condition says that there's currently 5 things that need to be done. And those 5 things are all part of the brake system. So filling the caliper hoses and the different hoses as well as the brakes themselves. So in order to do that, we're going to go over here. We're going to grab our compressor. You have to have the compressor to do basically everything maintenance-wise in the game. We're going to move that over here to lift 1. And this is just one of the sport bikes from one of the later missions in the game. Pretty much everything you do here will require that you do this operation in order to 100% the mission. So we're going to take the brake fluid as well, move that over here to lift 1. I've already done everything else on this bike. I did the whole repair, and we'll make another video talking about those things in detail later on. But in order to do this, right then, you're going to go ahead and right-click, which brings up your menu, and click Service. Service is going to tell you all the areas on the bike that you can provide service for, and in this case, we're going to do the brakes. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing. We have to fill multiple things, and it's a little bit difficult to do. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the handle brake. Handle brake up here, this is where you would fill your fluid reservoir if you had a had one on a bike. So we're going to go ahead and hold the left mouse button twice. So we're going to do one in order to select it, and the other one actually fills the fluid in the reservoir. I wish there was a sound effect for this, but unfortunately there's not. So once that's full, you see that that actually went to 100% and then took itself off the condition list. However, here's the thing we have to do next. So then we're going to hit Escape in order to get out of this view, and we're going to go find a brake caliper. In this case, we're going to start. I usually start in the rear. You can do whatever you want, but I start in the rear. You're going to go to the brake caliper. You're going to go select that. Now, because the fluid reservoir is full, now you can suck in the brake fluid into all of the hoses, and you have to start in each one and go through them all. So again, we're going to hold the right mouse button now, and you're going to see that the fluid is going to come out of the reservoir hose and into the other hoses in the reservoir, and it maxes out at 135. If you go below the fluid in the reservoir, it will then just start to empty out everything in the hoses. And you can see here that now we're done with the fluid in this rear brake caliper. However, we're only 33% done with the brake fluid in the reservoir hose because we have to do all 3 both of the brake calipers front and back as well as the brake pedal in order to do this. So I'm going to back out of this. Again, we have to go back to the handle brake where we're going to go click that again, left click it again and hold in order to fill the fluid reservoir. We just did the rear brake caliper, so now I'm going to go to the brake pedal. Brake pedal is here. We're going to left click and hold that, and then we're going to hold right click, right mouse button in order to suck in that brake fluid into that hose. Again, that's finished. We're now 66% done with the brake fluid in the reservoir hose. Back out again. Go back to the brake handle brake. Fill it again. Do. Again, I wish there was some sort of sound effect here, and I turned the music off so you could hear me. That's full. We're going to go back down here to the last one, which on this bike is the right front brake caliper. Click and hold that, and again, right mouse button to suck in the brake fluid one last time. You notice those numbers on the right there are now full, And all we have to do in order to finish this up is go back to the brake handle brake, and fill that fluid reservoir one more time in order to finish up all of the technical conditions on this bike. And there you go, just like that. That is a little more time consuming maybe than I would like it to be, but like many of you, I'm kind of a completionist and a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to doing games like this, which I find to be a little bit, zen and relaxing, so hopefully you're into that. I will have some more video about this game, which is Biker Garage Mechanic Simulator, some point later on. There is a Junkyard DLC that they released for free recently, which I know a lot of you guys are into my channel for the junkyard restorations and stuff like that on Car Mechanic. A lot of the mechanics on this game are different from what you would find in Car Mechanic Simulator. Also, hey, Tank Mechanic Simulator just came out, and that's been a lot of fun as well. Very different experience than either one of these two games. So there will be more to come with that. Hopefully that's helpful for you if you've been playing this and you've been frustrated about how to get the brake fluid technical condition figured out on one of your bikes. That's a lot easier now than you would think it would be, but it's kind of counterintuitive. It doesn't really tell you how to do it in the game. So again, hopefully that's useful to you. Go ahead and hit like if that's something that was helpful. Hit subscribe for more what I'm calling digital restorations in the near-ish future, almost every day or every other day, which has been a lot of fun. Or if you hated this and you don't like the sound of my voice, I guess go ahead and shoot that dislike thumbs down button, and I'm going to just have to learn to live with that. So hopefully you're having a great time playing your games, whatever it is you're playing. What simulators are you into? Drop a comment down there below, and happy mechanicking.